All right, we'll see if this thing's going. Mm-mm-mm. All right, well, we're going to get into this thing. So, I just want to kind of start off by saying what this is going to be. Welcome back, Rage Nation. Got P here. So, this React Quit Wire thing, the name came from some of the people on the Discord. I don't know if that's what we're going to call it, but that's what it's going to kind of be starting off. But basically, I just thought it would be a cool idea to not only talk about things that are happening as far as reacting to a game and reacting to a master, but I also just kind of like how did I build this list out? What was the purpose of it? And then I'm gonna take that off. And then just kind of like how it went. So that's kind of what I'm gonna do with this. These videos shouldn't be more than like 10 minutes or so. Yeah, we'll just kind of see how it goes. I'm gonna check this just to make sure this is correct. Yeah, we'll go with that. I think I should be good with that mic. If you have stuff in the chat, feel free to add it. This is the first time kind of doing this. So I'm just going to check a couple of things here. Just want to check to make sure it's using the right mic. Okay, yep. All right, that should be good. I'll listen to this when we have it back. The audio looks a little low on the bar, but we'll kind of go from there. So yeah, I went ahead and I'm going to react to these games that I do. Some people said don't limit it to myself. React also with other games that might be that other people play that I might just react to, and we'll kind of just go from there. So this game, this isn't any specific pool. I started going back to Bayou, so I wanted to kind of just get into it again. And I decided to start with Ulix just because at my local game store, I think Ulix is a lot of fun. And I think it's just cool because a lot of people haven't seen him in my meta yet. So I decided to drop him. And I didn't really look at the pool. We kind of just generated a random one. And with that, we have the pool that's up here. I played a local, Trevor, who's a really cool dude. So it was corner deployment, which Ulix doesn't have a problem with because he's fast. He's just a fast crew. Covert Op, Sabotage, Secret Meetup, Leave Your Mark, Assassinate, and Breakthrough. So Ulix doesn't, I feel like he doesn't love Covert Ops a ton, mainly because he has a lot of like zero reach models and pigs tend to die a little bit. It's kind of one of those things where you kind of try to send as many pigs as you can and hopefully you don't run out before they die. So this is an okay pool though, because you can run Sabotage, you can run Leave Your Mark, you could do Assassinate, and you can do Breakthrough. So out of this, I'll go through kind of the schemes after I show you what I dropped. But the guy I played dropped Anya. I'm going to move myself to the other side here. There we go. So he played Anya. Anya 1 specifically. He, of course, brought the Sovereign. Corvus Rook, Surveyor, Winston Finnegan, Catalan Rifleman, Catalan Brawler, another Rifleman, and then another Surveyor. So a little minion heavy. And he just started playing Anya, so he's just kind of getting a feel. This is basically the game where he's trying to figure out what models he likes to play in this keyword. He's probably got about 6 or 7 games with Anya, so he's kind of trying to feel that out. And then for my list, I ended up bringing Ulix Turner Porkbelly Protector. I really like the title for Ulix. The original is really good too, and the original actually might have been better here. But I mean, you can't. You have to play Ulix. It's just fun. So I put two gremlins in a ghillie suit because Ulix is only defense 4. We'll pull up his card real quick, and yeah, he's only defense 4. So the fact that the upgrade for Ghillie suit makes it where he has disguise so you can't charge him. Helps him stay up a little bit because even though he is hard to wound with 14 hitboxes, he still does go down quite easily. So just kind of keep that in mind as you play Ulix, that he's going to get, if he gets hit a bunch, he's going to die. He's only defense 4, but he's really good. So let's go back to that. So I ended up bringing, obviously, Penelope, a Hog Whisperer, another Hog Whisperer. So I'll talk about what I was trying to do with this list, specifically. So 2 Hog Whisperers, Bo Peep, Piglet, Swine Cursed, Old Major, and another Piglet. So I like Old Major a lot. I didn't play him well in this game, and I'll talk about that. But this list was, for me, 1, just getting back into playing Ulix because I like him a lot. 2, I wanted to try out the 2 Hog Whisperer list. So that was kind of my goal with this, is I know I like 1 Hog Whisperer, but I was like, okay, what if I bring 2? What is that going to look like? So that was kind of my main thing with this is, okay, let's see if 2 Hog Whisperers work. Main reason why, if you haven't looked at Hog Whisperers with Ulix 2 specifically, first off, if you look, they have tools for the job. So, I mean, tools for the job is just good. But the big thing with Ulix 2 is they have this pig sticker. So you can discard a mask with tools for the job to get built-in masks. And Stickum trigger is for beasts only. Notice it doesn't say non-leader. So that means that you can poke Ulix for 1 damage, and that's going to let him take an action, non-bonus action. So if you go to Ulix's card, you have some cool things. Once again, switch myself over here. Main thing is you can do his melee, but a lot of people really love his hunter's bow. So you can essentially, if you have one herder, you can go ahead and get the hunter's bow. You can shoot that like 5 times in a turn. So I was like, oh, if I bring 2, I could get, even like 7 shots a turn. That never happened just because of the way the game played out. But it still was like, oh, here's Magical Christmas Land. But the Whisperers, not the herders, the Whisperers, that's the main thing you're doing with them. You might get a pig off, but the main thing is you're going to use the sticker and herd them. And they're good. They're just really solid models. So that was the whole goal of this, is R2 good. I do like Bo Peep a lot in this list. Even though she's not a pig, she has a lot of synergies with pigs. So this list was a lot of fun. I enjoyed playing it. And I'll kind of talk about how this game started to go. So as the game progressed, you're coming out of corner deployment. One of these Hog Whisperers ended up kind of getting left behind. The other one kept up with the group just fine, but one of them did get left behind because it was corner deployment and the pigs kind of just took off. I didn't love my turn 1 with Ulix. In previous games, I like doing Bacon Beeline to switch out my Swine Curse maybe for a War Pig, or maybe turn one of the little piglets into a bigger pig, which I did. I turned a little piglet into a Wild Boar, but it didn't do as much as I wanted to. Usually, like I said, being a little more aggressive with the Swine Cursed is what I try to do turn 1. Bacon Beeline's great because you move a model, it's move +2. So most of these pigs are moving 7-8 inches when you do that. And if you get this trigger, if you go through burning stuff, you can switch out your pig to a bigger pig and it heals too. So that's really great when you do that. The great thing with Ulix is that Pigs of Fire is really big. Whenever you go base or go through a model, you do burning to that model. So that happens a lot. There's a lot of stampede going on. There's a lot of times in this game where I would stampede a model to kill it. And you just got to look for those opportunities, is just doing that. Bacon Beeline is another way to do 2 damage. Just really, really solid. So you can be really aggressive, but you got to be careful because, like I said, you're only defense 4 with Ulix. So turn 1, I had Old Major, who was my last activation, and I had last activation. No, I didn't, but I wasn't too scared. There was a rifleman that needed to go. So I was like, okay, I can throw Old Major in there. It's not good because there was a brawler there and there was a surveyor there. So I was like, I don't think I want Old Major getting in that deep. But I hadn't played pigs in a while, so I was like, we didn't come here just to look at it. Let's go and throw him in there. So I end up going in. I end up killing this little rifleman, which is fine. But then I'm in the middle of his crew. I think at that point, Old Major had like 4 damage on him. So I think he only had like 6 left. So that was kind of a problem. So then I end up having to make a choice of, okay, do I keep Old Major in there? Or do I get him out? Or do I switch him into a War Pig and maybe the War Pig survives? So turn 2, I actually switched him into a War Pig. Probably not a good move. But when you think Old Major is going to die, it is an option. The better option would have been to just not put him up that far. That would have been the conservative move. But like I said, sometimes you get playing pigs and you just you go into it. So Old Major, Anya, man, is a beast. So Old Major got switched into a... I'll talk about the schemes that I chose and what Trevor chose here in a minute. But Anya is a beast. So Anya, if you haven't played against Anya 1 in a while or ever, she's a stat 7. Her crew puts out a ton of hazardous terrain. So there were a lot of situations here where not only she was hitting me with the stat 7, 2, 3, 4, they also have price of progress. So they can ping, almost everything in her crew can ping themselves to get a suit. So she's doing like +1 damage and healing. So this is a 3, 4, 5 damage track, and it's stat 7. Okay, pretty good. She also has Bleeding Edge, which lets her kind of teleport to a scheme marker she drops with Mass Hysteria. There was actually a cactus terrain piece that I was next to. She hit Mass Hysteria to push, I think, my Swine Cursed into a scheme marker that was hazardous as well, and ended up doing just 2 damage just right there. And then I think I also took 2 from like Bleeding Edge, and then she tomahawked it to death. So, I mean, turn 2, Anya killed the Swine Cursed, and she killed the Wild Boar. So I was already down 2 of my bigger pigs, and the Wild Boar was Old Major, so it got bad really quick. Anya's very brutal with the hazardous. Pigs don't like hazardous. There was a surveyor, so like I said, that was her doing that. But there was a surveyor that put up Field of Steel that basically cut off half the board for me, because I could go into that, but then I'm taking probably 3 or 4 damage off of trying to kill this surveyor, and it just wasn't worth it. I was like, okay, let me just take this part of the board and see what I can do. So it was a bloody affair because I lost those. Ulix ended up killing 1 surveyor and ended up killing the brawler and ended up killing I think the Sovereign came in. So it was a very bloody affair because he started losing those models. And then, like I said, I lost the Swine Cursed. I lost Old Major, which became a War Pig. And so those are my 2 big hitters, right? I don't have anything that's doing a bunch of damage to hold those points. So I was really struggling at that point. Even though I was killing stuff and it looked good, I knew I didn't have big bodies to kind of follow up with it. And I wasn't getting triggers, and there wasn't enough fire on the board yet to turn the piglets into it. But piglets score points, okay? So this is nothing that's surprising to me, but I'll pull it up real quick just for those that haven't seen it before. But piglets score points. I ended up getting a Covert Ops. I claimed 1 with a piglet. And then I also was able to score Sabotage with the same piglet. And I scored the 2nd point of Sabotage with a piglet. So piglets just score points. Because they're reckless, they can just move around. They put scheme markers down. When they die, they put a scheme marker down. So, and they don't have a terrible, I mean, their gore thing's fine, but you mostly want to scheme with the piglets. You want to kind of just send them out, and if they die, just make sure that their body's where they can hopefully drop a scheme marker to score you a point. So really great. Piglets are awesome. Playing Ulix always brings some. So looking at the schemes that ended up getting taken. So I took Sabotage and Leave Your Mark. just because I thought I could kind of control the middle early on to try and leave your mark. Plus, I had old majors, so I could kind of use mark territory to get rid of scheme markers if Trevor picked it. And then I picked sabotage because I figured I had enough fast pigs to score that. I didn't do breakthrough because corner breakthrough can be really tough, especially when you're trying to fight over the middle line. So that one's tough in general unless you have like a super fast crew. And I'll move myself again. Sorry for that. There we go. Yeah, so didn't take breakthrough because it was corner. I should have probably taken assassinate, but Anya is so fast that if he wanted to, he could have just been like, nope, I'm not fighting this. I'm going to go score schemes. So I wasn't sure if I would be able to keep up with her to score assassinate. Turns out I did because of the way he played, but you never know how your opponent's going to play it. So maybe I take that since I have my bow. Maybe. I don't know. Anya actually has a lot of healing, like sneaky in her crew too. So I didn't choose Secret Meetup. I hate Secret Meetup. It's tough to score unless you just are really tunneled in on it. So yeah, I went with sabotage and leave your mark. Trevor, unironically, I guess that's the right way to put it. He did pick Secret Meetup. He got, I think, just the end point on it because he ended up killing Bo Peep. And he took breakthrough. So he decided to take breakthrough. And it was really interesting because he ended up running Corvus Rook off to go get it. And I'd be curious about people's opinions on Rook because he looks decent, but he never does anything great. I think the only time I've seen him do something amazing was when I think it was like turn 4 and I had like no stones. And Dixon waited till I basically only had like one card. No, he waited till I think I had no cards. And he basically pinged himself with Price of Progress to execute. What did he execute? I can't remember what it was. It's something in Lady J. I think it might have been my emissary in guild, but he executed it. So I think that's something, but he's fast, good stats. It's just this staggering punch. 2, 3, 4 for a 9-stone minion or 9-stone henchman doesn't seem to be worth it a lot of times. Backroom dealings, not a great fan of that. He's slippery, so okay, that's fine, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you guys have found anything to thanks Dixon. I'm glad you're in the chat talking about the emissary that you killed and ruined my life. But I have not seen Rook do a ton of work consistently. A lot of times he's kind of just running around chasing after things, and that's fine, but yeah, I don't know. And I think, even in Ivan, I don't know. He's just one of those pieces that's kind of weird to me. So let me know, and if people look at this in the comments, if you've gotten better work out of Corvus Rook than other people have that I've seen. Besides that, I thought his list was pretty good. I'd probably take one less Surveyor. I would probably drop Corvus Rook. I think the 2 Riflemen and the Brawlers were pretty good. These Riflemen, they put out some clutch stuns because once again, they can ping themselves to do it. They have hard to kill, so even though they're 5 hit points, they're, decently, difficult to take out, even though their stats are low and stuff. Also, I must say, where is this dude? I think it was the Brawler. The Brawler ended up getting this hold down trigger like twice in one activation where he was punching Ulix, got the hold down twice, so he's doing damage and putting staggered on Ulix, and then these Riflemen ended up taking a 2-3-5. I think he red jokered for 6 on Ulix and stunned him. Or no, he didn't stun him because you can't get a trigger off a trigger. But still, I was just like, man, this Syndicate Rifleman and the Catalan Brawler, man, they are doing work. So that was the first time I saw that do some real work, and it was really good. Let's see here. So yeah, as far as what I wanted out of this, I wanted to test out the Hog Whispers, and the game was whatever. I was okay winning or losing. I think I ended up, yeah. Hey, what's going on, Jim? Yeah, the Cattle and Riflemen are good. I could see if I was playing Anya, I think I would bring them most games. The Riflemen really did a lot of cool work. So that was cool to see him do well with that. But the game, I mean, I think I ended up losing by 1. It could have been a draw, but I think we just kind of agreed that, yeah, you probably got this because I'm just losing too many bodies. By the end of turn 4, he had Anya left, Corvus, a Surveyor, Finnegan, and a Rifleman. So he was a little low, but if you look at what I had a lot less. I lost Ulix. Penelope was still there. I had 1 Hog Whisperer. Bo Peep was dead. I had 2 Piglets, and that was it. So I was like, I can't score anything else because if I go anywhere near this crew, Anya just tomahawks the crap out of my crew. So yeah, I was just like, yeah, I think you got this. If I come anywhere near Anya, she was pretty low. I think she only had like 3 hit points, but she also has hard to kill because most of her keyword does. So it was just a really good game. Anya's solid. I think if you have a scheme/killy pool that you can kind of go out and just be mobile enough to not die quickly, but scalpel out what you need to. And if they don't ignore hazardous terrain, I think that's a big thing to counter Anya is if you see Anya, it's like, okay, I need to ignore hazardous. And that's the way you kind of get around her, right? Because if you don't, and she starts moving you around, you're just taking 2 unresisted damage sometimes. And, especially if you're armor, it's like, I don't care about your armor. I'm pinging you to death. So definitely that's a problem. Also, hostile work environment's a problem once she gets into something. I think Anya is going to be better in the next Gaining Grounds if it's more mobile and schemy. But since this one's kind of more sit and fight, she really kind of has a problem with that. I think you could bring her into not cursed, but covert. Nope, not covert. The carved path. There we go. Yeah, lots of ping damage, lots of small attacks in this crew, as Dixon said in the chat. But Carved Path, I think you could do very well with Anya's crew right now in Carved Path. And the other ones where you got to sit and fight, I think she struggles with. You got to be super conservative and scalpel out your kills. You could do it. I think corner, you probably have a better argument for that with Anya. That's where I would probably consider bringing her currently in this GG. But I think we're going to get a new GG probably in November, if I had to guess. So she was able to kill the pigs fast enough. That's when you play against Ulix 2 specifically, because Ulix 1 can heal a decent amount and can take care of his pigs. But Ulix 2 is just straight aggression, right? There's a little bit of healing. Like you do Law of Me. I did that once or twice. You can heal 2 off that. But the big thing is when you play against Ulix 2, it's a race against can you kill the big scary pigs before they eat your whole crew? If you check yes, then you usually beat Ulix 2. If you check no, then it's like, oh, well, I lost Ulix. He did the thing. So Ulix, I think, has a really good alpha. People compared him a lot to Nekima, and I think that's pretty accurate. A little different, but it's pretty accurate. It's pretty aggressive. Ulix 2 rewards good aggressive play. It's just since this was my first game back and I was testing this double Hog Whisperer list, it didn't pan out. I needed another decent sized pig. So ideally I would remove probably this Hog Whisperer and I would probably bring a medium sized pig to then turn into like another Swine Cursed or something. There was a lot of trees. I probably could have brought the Aramanthian Boar. That wouldn't have been bad. But yeah, like I said, just getting into it. It's kind of like kicking the dust off of it. Like I have a lot of games with Ulix, but it's been so long that I just had to kind of figure it out, right? Refigure it out, I should say. So yeah, it's one of those things where I was just figuring that out. I think something we're going to do with this kind of review thing is not only kind of at the beginning, I'll probably take a picture of the battlefield. That way people can see terrain and stuff as well as we talk about this. But changes I would make with this, like I said, take a Hog Whisperer out. Maybe take one piglet out and then add in a, like I said, another pig. So that whether that's the Erymanthian boar, another swine cursed, maybe a wild boar, something to that effect. I always bring at least one piglet though. And yeah, I think besides that, I liked what I brought. I know some people don't like Bo Peep because she's not technically a pig, but it's not that big of a deal. She's still a beast, so you can still do the herd action, but you just need a mask because it's not built in. So, and then talking with Trevor about his Anya list, I think honestly with what was going on here, he could drop a Surveyor and Corvus Rook and probably put the Emissary in here or something that can scheme like Vernon Wells. So a lot of options that he could do with this list. He's still figuring it out, but I think he's having a lot of fun with it just because it plays so different than what he was doing before. So once again, this ended up kind of being, I didn't get 6. I don't know why that says that. I ended up getting, I think, a max of 5, and he ended up getting 6. So, yeah, Bo Peep is still Sui in keyword, but some of the synergies, as Jim asked, or he didn't ask, he said that Bo Peep's in keyword. But the problem with her is she's not a pig. So some of these abilities only trigger for pigs. So Covered in Slop, after a friendly pig damages an enemy model. Pigs of Fire, after resolving an action, a friendly pig ended a move in base contact, you get a burning. And then it's a beast, so you can do things like hurt them, but you need the mask, it's not built in. Bacon Beeline, you can't do to her because she's not a pig. So I know Dixon, when he played Ulix, was frustrated with that. I just know she's not a pig, so I don't get frustrated with that because she helps so much with the unpack that she gets your pigs going with that races on for just that 3-inch push out the gate. She pushes 5. She then can do Hogwash Slosh off her barbed whip to then really get a pig or really get Ulix kind of up and running. She's fast, so she kind of can go scheme. Also in Covert, she has a 2-inch reach, so she helps deny. That can help out Ulix's crew. So, and she puts that healing out where if you damage a model and you're within 8 inches of Bo Peep, you get to heal up to 2 for each model that you damage that activation. So, little ping healing doesn't always keep you alive, but it's still really good. Still really good. So, I will probably almost always bring Bo Peep just because she synergizes so well, but she is not a pig. That is correct. So, let me know what you guys think of these little reviews. This is the first one, so I don't have a rhyme or reason to this first one. The more I do this, the more I'll get into it. But like I said, Anya ended up pulling it out by 1. Really good job by Trevor, especially figuring out that crew. The hazardous terrain just really kicked my butt. It made it where he did a really good job of forcing me to be like, okay, you can go in there, but you're going to get punished. So I feel like he did a really good job of setting that up in a lot of situations. There was even a nasty dirigible ride where Winston dirigible rode, I think it was a squealer that I made, and he put it into the cactus, but it was also in the hazardous aura of a surveyor. So it was just, it was nasty. And I was just like, yep, this is what I remember from Anya. So I encourage more explorers to try her out if you haven't. She's a really rewarding keyword. I will definitely be talking more about Ulix because I love him. He does a lot of great stuff. Very aggro for this version, very support and schemey in the other version. So you're going to hear me not only talking about Ulix 2, but you're also going to see me talk about Ulix 1 coming up here, just because I really like what he does. It's just a lot of fun. Grow Up Strong is so fun. Yeah, just a lot of good fun. But this was the first one of the React Quit Wire. We're going to do this. I'm going to try to do this every week. I think putting out more content on the YouTube will be good for people. It'll help them kind of learn what I'm thinking with some of these things that I played in the game, some of the lists I bring, some of the things that didn't work out well, some of the things that did work out well. and hopefully people can learn from them. And it's going to be short content that people can just enjoy. So I'm going to leave the stream there. Make sure that you guys are flipping cards, flipping tables, and we will see you all